Let us continue with this diagram and now look at arrow number 11. So I'm going to take you back to the graph. And we are going to go ahead and talk about, so I'm going to talk about certain things together, beta. I'm going to talk about arrow 11, which is inequality. Arrow 12, which is post-colonial institutional quality. Arrow 13, which is human capital. Arrow 16, which is public good. इन चारों के बारे में हम एक साथ बात करेंगे. Arrow 13 is this. Inequality कैसे human capital से linked है. Arrow 11 is how colonial regime leads to inequality. Arrow 10 is how post-colonial quality is affected by colonial regime, जिसके बारे में we have already talked about. Arrow 12 is how inequality and colonial institutional quality are related. कैसे colonial institution जो थे और जो inequality है वो एक दूसरे के साथ related है. Further, there are some relation. Arrow 17 is how quality is related to public good. Arrow 16 is how inequality is related to public good. Arrow 15 is how human capital is related to public good. And arrow 14 is how human capital is related to income, human development. अब इन सबको एक साथ समझने का कोशिश करते हैं. So I'm going to go ahead and begin with arrow number 11. So in this, we are talking about how inequality emerged as a result of colonialism. कैसे अलग अलग जगहों पर जहां पर भी कॉलोनीज एस्टैब्लिश हुई, बहुत जगह पर उस किस तरीके की कॉलोनी एस्टैब्लिश होगी उसने डिटरमाइन किया कि इनइक्वालिटी कितनी होगी. कुछ रीजन्स में जहां पे कॉलोनीज एस्टैब्लिश हुई इनइक्वालिटी नहीं आई, और कुछ रीजन्स में जहां पे कॉलोनीज एस्टैब्लिश हुई बहुत सारा इनइक्वालिटी आई. सो द टाइप ऑफ कॉलोनी डिटरमाइंड व्हाट काइंड ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन विल बी एस्टैब्लिश्ड. ये तो हमने पढ़ा ही था कि कॉलोनी पर डिपेंडेंट था कि इंस्टीट्यूशन कैसा एस्टैब्लिश होगा, बट दैट ऑल्सो अफेक्टेड व्हाट टाइप ऑफ, will there be very high inequality in the economy or low inequality in the economy. So European colonization created or reinforced differing degree of inequality, ultimately leading to diminished prospect for growth and development. अब whenever there was more inequality in the economy, अगर किसी इकोनॉमी में जो inequality है वो काफी ज्यादा है, so it ultimately led to lower prospects for growth and development. तो growth और development वहां पे कम हो रही थी. High inequality often emerged as a result of slavery in regions where crops could be efficiently produced on slave plantation. तो देखा गया कि जहां पे भी स्लेवरी हो पा रही थी, स्पेशली इन स्लेव प्लांटेशंस, areas of India where plantation was done, we were seeing that there were a lot of slavery that was happening. लोगों को slave बनाया जा रहा था, and wherever slavery existed, there was high amount of inequality. Right? So colonization was related to high inequality in the economy. It also emerged where large population could be converted into labor. ऐसी जगहें जहां पे there was large indigenous population, जहां पे हम easily population बहुत ज्यादा था और उसको लेबर में कन्वर्ट कर सकते थे, वहां पर ज्यादातर inequality ज्यादा रहती थी. We used to see that in those places where there was high amount of population, the inequality was usually high. Arrow number 13. If inequality was extreme, there was less investment in human capital. Now inequality was related to human capital. अगर inequality ज्यादा है, लोगों का exploitation ज्यादा है, तो कोई जरूरत नहीं है उनको education देने की. अगर उन्हें education देने की जरूरत नहीं है तो human capital में investment की जरूरत नहीं है. So in places where inequality was extreme, it was seen that there was less investment in human capital. High inequality of Central and South America led to low human capital as against North America. Both North America and South America, they were captured. दोनों को ही capture किया गया. But North America had less inequality. South America had more inequality. Therefore, it was seen that in South America, there was low human capital investment. क्योंकि साउथ अमेरिका में इनइक्वालिटी ज्यादा थी, ऐसा देखा गया कि वहां पर जो ह्यूमन कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट रही वो कम रही. So human capital investment was related to inequality. We were showing that through those arrows, right? So if you remember, we had linked inequality to human capital. Inequality was linked to human capital. And also to public good. अब जहां पर इनइक्वालिटी ज्यादा है वहां पर पब्लिक गुड प्रोवाइड करने की ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं है. फ्री एजुकेशन, फ्री हेल्थ, ये सब देने का जरूरत ही नहीं है. यू आर नॉट कंसर्न्ड अबाउट द पुअर पीपल, यू आर एक्चुअली एक्सप्लॉइटिंग द पुअर पीपल. सो देयर द पब्लिक गुड्स आर ऑल्सो लेस. सिमिलरली वेयर ह्यूमन कैपिटल इज लो, माने लोग बहुत एजुकेटेड नहीं है, हाँ, investment in human capital is low, then people will not be able to demand public good. So that will also be linked to public good. And human capital definitely will be linked to the human development. अगर human capital में invest नहीं करोगे, if you will not invest in human capital, automatically your human development will not take place, isn't it? If you will not invest in education, health, तो human development तो खुद से कम होगा. And the post-colonial quality was also linked to the public good. So if you had such an institution which encouraged inequality, अगर इंस्टीट्यूशन ही डेमोक्रेटिक नहीं थे, वो इनइक्वालिटी को इनकरेज करते थे, तो वहां पे पब्लिक गुड ज्यादा बनाने की जरूरत नहीं थी. सो दीज आर ऑल लिंक्ड विद ईच अदर, राइट? ओके, लेट्स रीड दिस आउट. So arrow 16 talks about lesser public goods also. Arrow 12. Inequality meant tendency of less movement towards the democratic institution. तो अगर inequality ज्यादा है तो आप डेमोक्रेसी की तरफ नहीं जा रहे हो, है ना? Inequality affected the type of institution. For example, beside creating specific institution, European colonization created or reinforced different degree of inequality, often correlated with ethnicity. ये बहुत important है. So usually what happened is that we saw that inequality was related to ethnicity. ठीक है? You have noticed, ठीक है, that especially in the you would have noticed that especially in multiple regions there was there was inequality which was done on the basis of a particular color, blacks and white. ठीक है? तो ethnicity क्या है? Ethnicity means the sense of belonging to a particular social group based on language, religion, diet, ancestry, physical features. इन सब के बेसिस पे आपने अलग अलग सोशल ग्रुप बना दिए. तो अब हम क्या कह रहे हैं कि जहां पर ये एथनिसिटी ज्यादा थी, जहां पर ऐसे अलग अलग सोशल ग्रुप्स बने हुए थे कि अलग अलग रिलीजन के लोग अपने आप में हैं, अलग अलग कलर के लोग अपने आप में हैं, अलग अलग लैंग्वेज के लोग अपने आप में हैं, वहां पर ज्यादा आसान था टू जनरेट इनइक्वालिटी. एंड दोज वर द प्लेसेस विच हैड लॉन्ग टर्म कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट. वहीं पर डेवलपमेंट होने में मुश्किल आई. देयर वर लॉन्ग टर्म कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस इन डेवलपमेंट. Human capital is at least as fundamental a source of long run development as institutions. तो हम सिर्फ डेवलपमेंट के लिए इंस्टीट्यूशंस को ही इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं मान सकते. Not only institutions are important for the purpose of development, right? Like for example, institution means everything. What is the kind of government? What's the kind of court? What's the kind of police? ये सब institutions हैं. But along with institution, human capital, how educated people are, what is the health of people, what is the income of people, ये सब भी उतना ही important है long term growth के लिए. So we saw that where there was high ethnicity, the degree of inequality was high. When the degree of inequality was high, the human development was less. When human development was less, it had long term consequences on development. Arrow 14 and 15. Human capital has direct impact on income and on human development. तो हमने human capital को last block, that is income and human development से link किया था. Of course, human capital ही तो human development के लिए useful है. If you're not investing in humans, if you're not investing in the health and education of humans, तो human development will automatically be low. And arrow number 15. Depth and breadth of education in population will determine the effectiveness of government as a force of development. बहुत important है. So I will just go back and show you this thing. एरो नंबर 15 बेटा, ह्यूमन कैपिटल को लिंक किया हमने पब्लिक गुड से. नाउ इफ पीपल आर नॉट मच एजुकेटेड, अगर लोग बहुत एजुकेटेड नहीं हैं, देन they don't have a lot of education, then what will happen बच्चे, the kind of government that will come into picture will be ऐसे, because people will just give vote to any person. People don't know how to judge the government. This gives better quality of civil service and also understanding of citizen about poor government performance. तो जहां पर अच्छा human capital होगा, people will be educated, the civil service will be nice. राइट, जो सिविल सर्वेंट्स बनेंगे वो एजुकेटेड बनेंगे, द गवर्नमेंट इलेक्टेड बाय पीपल विल बी नाइस. बट इफ द ह्यूमन कैपिटल इज नॉट नाइस, इफ एजुकेशन इज नॉट गुड इनफ, then the government people will be electing for will not be good enough. And the government, if people are electing for वो उतना अच्छा नहीं है, then automatically it will go ahead and it will mean that you will not have good public goods. Arrow number 17. Post-colonial institution quality had strong impact on effectiveness of the private, public, and civil servant sector. Democratic governance, rule of law, and constraints on elites will encourage more and better quality of the public goods. So, let me just come back, bache. It is difficult to go forth than this. Arrow 17 is कि कैसा post-colonial institution बना. आफ्टर यू गॉट योर फ्रीडम, कैसी इंस्टीट्यूशन की क्वालिटी बनी, इट विल डिटरमाइन व्हाट क्वालिटी ऑफ पब्लिक गुड यू विल बी हैविंग, व्हाट क्वालिटी ऑफ पब्लिक गुड यू विल बी हैविंग. ठीक है, सो पोस्ट क्वालिटी इंस्टीट्यूशन क्वालिटी हैड स्ट्रॉन्ग इम्पैक्ट ऑन इफेक्टिवनेस ऑफ पब्लिक, प्राइवेट एंड सिविल सर्वेंट सेक्टर. तो हर चीज कैसी होगी, ऑफ कोर्स इफ यू गो फ्रॉम वन कंट्री टू अनदर, किस पे डिपेंड करता है कि किस तरीके का पब्लिक सेक्टर, प्राइवेट सेक्टर और ये सब होगा. It will go ahead and it will be dependent on the kind of institutions that are there in that economy, whether it is a capitalist economy or democratic economy, what kind of institutions exist in that economy, that will determine the quality of the public, private, and civil servant sector. Arrow 18. Better property right protection and contract enforcement and broad access to economic opportunities will spur private investment. So now, if you have better property rights defined, कि किसके हाथ में क्या है, हाँ, who has what, ठीक है, what does what belongs to, किस what belongs to which person, किसको क्या belong करता है, अगर वो हमें पता है, the property rights are well defined, you have contract enforcement, proper contracts are defined, then and you're giving proper opportunities for people to develop, तो automatically वहां पर private investment better होगी. So to draw arrow 18 beta, let me just draw arrow 18 in the same diagram, I missed that. So arrow 18 means किस तरीके के इंस्टीट्यूशन होंगे इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद, इस पे डिपेंड करेगा कि आपकी मार्केट कैसे फंक्शन करेगी. सो हियर यू विल हैव वेल डिफाइंड फंक्शनिंग मार्केट्स, कि whether the property rights are well defined or not, do people take care of contracts or not, do people get well good opportunities or not, उस पे डिपेंड करेगा कि प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट कितना रहेगा. दिस इज एरो नंबर 18. ठीक है, सिमिलरली एरो नंबर 19 is effective civil society. Again, more or less similar only, that what kind of society will exist will depend on what kind of institutions exist. और ये मार्केट कैसी है और ये सोसाइटी कैसी है, these will go ahead and further define the income and development in any economy. So this 18 is then linked to arrow number 21. Public good is related to arrow number 20, to also income. This is arrow number 20. ठीक है, और टाइप ऑफ सिविल सोसाइटी, दिस इज एरो नंबर 22. समझे? So now let's just talk about the last three arrows, 20, 21 and 22. So arrow number 19. Arrow number 19 basically is beta कि quality, post colonial institution quality will determine the effective civil society. So institution will affect the ability of civil society to organize and act effectively as a force of independent of state and market. अब एक एग्जाम्पल ले लो, if you are living in India versus if you are living in Dubai, the way that you will be acting will be very different. बहुत recently, मैं एक I was listening to one of the there was this reel जो I think Honey Singh का reel was going on, and he said that it just said that you know, I feel more safe in Dubai and therefore I live in Dubai. And then there was another person, I don't remember that person. I remember 2, 3 people talking about the same thing that, you know, we are shifting to Dubai because Dubai is more safe. तो किस तरीके के इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं एक इकोनॉमी में, वो लोगों को कैसा कैसा फील करवाते हैं, हाउ दे लेट पीपल फील अबाउट अ थिंग, दैट विल डिटरमाइन हाउ इफेक्टिव द सोसाइटी विल बी, राइट? Okay, beta. Arrow 20, 21, and 22. Type and quality of activities of 3 sectors will have influence on productivity and income and on human development in general. तो अब arrow 20, 21, 22 क्या कहता है कि किस तरीके के पब्लिक गुड्स होंगे इकोनॉमी में, मार्केट कैसे फंक्शन करेगी, सोसाइटी कितनी इफेक्टिव रहेगी, ये डिटरमाइन करेगा कि एक इकोनॉमी का डेवलपमेंट कितना होगा, राइट? दिस विल गो अहेड एंड डिटरमाइन द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द इकोनॉमी. Forces that protect narrow elites in ways that limit access to broader population to opportunities for advancement are main obstacles to successful economic development. अब अगर ऐसी कोई कंट्री है जो कुछ लोगों को it gives opportunities to few elite people, and most of the people don't get good opportunities, then it will not lead to successful economic development. But institutions are highly resistant to attempt at reform, and this explains why economic development is so challenging. बहुत important point है बेटा, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट के लिए अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूट होना जरूरी है, बट इंस्टीट्यूट्स बहुत टाइम ना रेजिस्टेंट टू चेंज होते हैं, ठीक है? अब जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल in India, this was a very common phenomena that bribery was very common. Bribe दिया जाता था कुछ काम करने के लिए, and institutions were resistant to change. आप कितना भी change करवाने की कोशिश कर लो, they were not changing. So it takes a lot of effort to change the way that institute work. If they change, we will develop. अगर institutions for the right thing change हो जाते हैं तो खुद से development आ जाएगा. But if institutions don't change, then it is a challenge in economic development. तो automatically वो एक challenge create करता है economic development, right? However, economic institutions do change over time as long as more democratic institutions spread sustainably in developing world. This would be very encouraging for future inclusive economic development. वो ये कि अगर तो वो चेंज हो जाते हैं, then nothing like that. जैसे for example, one good thing that happened under the Modi government, as much as I have heard, is that all government officials have to reach on time and punch in, just like private sector. So if institutions change for the good, nothing like that. But if institutions don't change, so development will be a difficult task. Okay, beta. Finally, we finished this graph. Thank you.